Good morning, everyone. Hope you all had a nice day and welcome to lesson 2 of Python Basics today. So let's take a quick recap of what we have learned in our last class before we start today's lesson. So yesterday we started by exploring Google Colab, understanding how to access it and writing our first lines of code. And then we covered important basic topics of Python like what are variables, what are they, how they store data. We also discussed different data types and perform very basic arithmetic operations in Python like float division, modulus, addition, so on. So, and by now, I hope everyone has had a chance to explore Google Colab and try it on your own, like since we'll be using it throughout this course. I have structured each lesson in a way that keeps things organized. Every notebook includes key concepts like the theoretical part and then followed by hands-on coding activity so that you don't have to make the nodes and like the whole 1 hour you can give it for the lesson. And yeah, so let me share today's collab again with you. So, and let me share my screen. And the process remains same. Like whenever you get the collab in the start of the class, you go to the file, click on save a copy in Drive, and your copy of this notebook gets saved into your Gmail account so that after like you can practice along the class or you can even try after the class also you'll have the collabs in your uh, Google Drive. So, and the process again, yeah, remains the same. Open the link, make a copy, follow along as we code together. And
Sorry,
and yeah,
Meenakshi, sorry to interrupt.
yeah,
On the top, you can see a cloud symbol, right? So what is that? Above the help, in the menu, above the help, there is a drive kind of symbol. Let me
here this
share
one.
my.
Okay,
Uh, which one you said? Which one you are showing?
this one, the cloud symbol.
No, no, no. Here. Yeah. So what is this? Even I tried to
This
do
is like
this.
revision history. Like multiple people will be like when multiple people works on the same collab, like it shows like the new edition, like the existing collab I have edited is that right? So I have edited this like yesterday, like night 11 o'clock the last time. So the new version history. Sometimes you want the old version of the collab after editing it, so we can even retrieve that. So it's temporarily storing different versions of the collab. Like right now, morning 5 o'clock, I just opened at 7:45. Sorry, December 5th. Sorry, 7:45. I opened it. Like I'm starting editing now. Then after the class, I'll go and check. Like I'll have different versions available. Maybe I want the previous version where I didn't edit any codes. I can get it from here.
Okay. So if we want to see any one of the version, we have to go there and do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you can get it. Yeah. So sometimes, like when multiple people are working, like when you're saving, you'll get something like that showing like you have the codes like this and someone's edited like this. You'll get details of it. So yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Come. And so let's start with the simple print statement today. So we'll be covering print statement, input function, and data type conversion. Like if you have a data type of string, how to convert it to some other like, and then how to increment a value. If you have a variable with a value 2 or 3 and you want to increase the value to 7 or 8, how to do it. And then the important concept, which is loops. So loops is there in any programming language. Always in all this programming language, the concepts would be same. The syntax will be different. Like when I say loops, loops is there in all programming language. The why we use loops, how what is the exact purpose of loop? All these things remain constant. The thing is like in Python, the syntax would be different. The way we write the code is different. That would be the change. So I hope you all did open the collab. Let me start with the print function. So as the name suggests, print function is used to print something. Like in the collab environment, when you create some variables without print statement also, only the last variable will be able to see it. Like if I have a equal to 5, a variable, 5 equal to, b equal to 10, a variable, and if I want to just see the value of b alone or a alone as a one last variable, I can just print it without print statement. But if I want to see both A and B variables output, okay, let me share it again. So if I want to see both A and B as output, then I have to use this print function, and inside this brackets, I have to print A comma B. And this A comma B are variables, not the string values. So it's taking, yeah. So print function, anything you write it inside, it would print for us. And but when you're printing a text, always text, you have to include it in quotations. Only then it would be printed. Like if I'm just printing, say name, it would throw error saying like name is not defined. Either you can make it a string and print it so that it's a text, or maybe if you have a variable where something is stored like this. Then also you can print it with the name here, but without quotations, this is nothing but a variable, then it would work. But if you have something, you are just printing something without quotations and without creating variables, it will always throw error. So you have to make sure it has to be a string or a variable. So this is how we create a basic print statement. You can also try it on your screen, like just create a write print, and inside that you can uh, write a text like hello earth and just print it, and try to enclose it in single quotations or double quotations. So you can either run the code by running on this play button, or if you just click shift and enter both together, then also the code runs. So if you are in some here, like if you just press shift and enter, then also the code runs. So if I'm printing hello earth, then I would just write. So like I'm saying like function already, right? When I say print, I'm saying like print function. So the concept of function we are going to study on Monday's lesson, but like a higher overview, functions are something which are created to reuse the code. Like when you use this print statement, you can use multiple times. Once it is created by the author in the backend. So whenever you want to print something like in you like you can reuse it, like uh, you can, like a simple analogy, you can say like all this functions are like machines where you can give some input according to that machine's task, it will give some output. So here print task is to print whatever we write it inside it. So if you have multiple values inside the print statement, for suppose like hello, I have multiple strings printing, how are you? So instead of one string, like I just separated multiple strings with comma. And when I print a simple print statement with multiple strings, you see that like you are going to get hello, how are you separated by space by default. So hello and how you have a space, how and are you have a space. So this is the default print statement behavior. Like if you have multiple, like if you have a, like I just created this name variable on top, right? If I just print name, so, hello, how are you, John? So, always like by default, they are separated by comma here, sorry, space here. So, but if I want to control that, if you have multiple strings inside a print statement and you want to control how all of that has to be joined together, then we have a parameter inside print statement which we can use. Like instead of here, if I just pass this parameter separator SEP equal to, and I can decide if I want to join all my strings with at the rate like this. Then it would be hello at the rate, how at the rate, are you at the rate you. So by default, when you just don't mention anything, it would be separated by space. And when you want to control like how this multiple strings has to be joined together, then you can give this parameter sub equal to at the rate. So then now you can try this activity, give a date, use the separator keyword to print a date in the format date, month, year. In the sense, I'll give you a hint. Like you can try at least like you, the output should look like this: 05, 12, 2025. This has to be the output: 05, 12, 2025. So one thing is that like we can directly print this. So I can directly print it just by directly okay. Okay, start like we cannot print something with zeros in Python. Like it would give you this error like saying leading zeros in decimal integer literals are not permitted. Use an 0 O prefix to octal integers. Don't get confused. Like let's make it simple. Just remove the starting 0. Yeah, this is the output we are expecting, but not directly like this. By using the separator keyword, you have to give the date separately, month separately, year separately, and join all of these three words to like three values together using the separator keyword. So do try, and if you're done like with the code, you can put it in the chat also. Take a 30 seconds, like try it. If you're done, you can just paste the code in the chat, or you can just put done in the chat. Not able to write the code. After making the copy, you have to like on your copy, you have to go to the like after making this save a copy in Drive, like just click inside this code cell and start typing. So would be able to do it. So correct Mira, like I'll just copy yours. You keep trying, like if you're not able to do it after the lesson, like share your screen, I'll try to guide you again. So you see like 5, 12, 20, 25 separated, then you'll be printing 5, 12, 20, 25. So if you are printing numbers, no need of quotations, but if you want this has to be a string, then you have to make it inside quotations. But the same thing without strings, doesn't work using this format. So it just did some calculation here. Okay, so, and there is one more interesting thing, like if I want to print something like this, print, I'm printing some, see, what do you think would be the output now? Like whatever we write it inside the print statement, it should print that, right? If I'm printing this, C colon docs Naresh with a backslash here, what do you think would be the output? You can put it in the chat or you can just run it. What do you think? Will it be the same thing or will it throw error? Like since we have multiple special characters. Okay, let me run it. So Now you see that like whenever this new line character is here, like when you here I didn't intended to put a new line character here, but I was like see this docs and there is this backslash n nourish. So I just wanted to print the whole path. But what happens with Python is inside the print statement, whenever it sees this backslash n, this is called as new line character. So when it sees new line character inside the print statement, the new line character is used to insert a new line in the output. So this has inserted a new line inside the print statement. So you got the output C docs in one line. This is the new line. You just went to the second line and it just printed nourish. So the solution for this is when you want to uh, escape a character inside the print statement, we have to put one more backslash here. So then it works like whenever, like not only for this backslash, like any new character you want to exclude, sorry, any character you want to exclude, we have to use this backslash for suppose, like I'm printing Nagpur's orange. And now you see that I want to print Nagpur's orange, like I have quotations as a concept where we have to give it for string, but I want to give this apostrophe for Nagpur's orange. But if you see, like the print statement is generating the error saying like it has considered this as the start quotations, end quotations, but it is looking for a quotation for the second value here. So the solution here is for this character, I want to say the print statement like, just ignore this. Then I have to just put this character of backslash, then it would work. And this quotations are a little tricky when you have quotations inside it. So usually if you have double quotations and the combination of double and single quotations like this, it would work. But always we prefer this escaping character by using this backslash so that we don't contradict with any special characters in between when you're printing. But usually like we don't get, rarely we'll get such problems here. So, okay. And yeah, interesting that like you are trying this with Raghu. Like, so is that your code you have written? Yeah. So some all this like not only this new line character, there are few more special things like this is like new line character, this and then before this we add R. There are many more such things with us. Like slowly we'll discuss that. Don't worry. Like it would be overloaded right now. So for now, like if you have a print statement with
It's a double blacks.
yeah, so so sorry.
Yeah, it's double backslash.
Yeah. So when, yeah, double backslash. Yeah. So whenever you see like this backslash and R is there, like anything before it was not printed. So there are few things like that. Right now, this new line character is important because we are going to print it in the next line. So yeah, good that you explored this one. So again, like you have the combination of quotations, you have double and single quotations. So it would work with this Nagpur orange because this has taken a starting quotation and the end quotation. But always, if you want to escape some characters, try using this backslash, which is above the enter button. So this is about new line character slash n. And again, like for First, suppose I'm printing, I'm using multiple print statements like print. So usually when I print multiple print statements like this and run it, by default they are printed one after other. So but if I want to control this, like if you have multiple print statements and you want to control like how you want to join them together, you can pass this parameter called end parameter, where you can even control like how you want to end each sentence. So if I just gave the end statement asterisk only for one and run it, you would see that like the first print statement and the second print statement joined together with asterisk here. Hello, asterisk hey, and default like print Python, print Apple are on the next line. So if you want to control, this has to be ended with some at the rate, and this has to be ended with some hash. So you can control the different multiple lines print statements with how you want to join them together. So for now, if you just understand that print statement is used to print a statement in it, since I wanted to show like, sometimes you might encounter this problem of when you're printing with special characters. I just wanted to give you a hint that there are many things like this backslash n has become new line character. And right now, like Raghu Garu has explored this like backslash and r is going not, it's not printing the whatever is before it. So like that, like whenever you encounter such things with print, just take a hint that you can get the documentation of Python and check if there is any special meaning for characters like this. Then you can rectify that. So, and you can even pass the separator and end keyword and control like how you want to join multiple print statements together. So, and always I say like, inside the print statement only we have discussed many things in just in 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So don't try to memorize anything, just practice, go with the flow. Don't try to overload your mind and try to memorizing things like what happens with end separate. Just take multiple examples, do it, then go for the next activity. But never try to memorize anything. What to keep in mind, what are those things, then I'll try to guide it. Like very rarely we'll get encounter things which we have to purposefully memorize them. So yeah, okay. So I can try a print statement before we go for a input function where I can include both separator and end keyword. For suppose I'm just printing Python is easy, and I want to separate each of this with, okay, and I have end. I'll write it, then you can try guessing the output and put it in the chat. Okay, let me just put a simple print statement. What do you think would be the output now? I have two print statements. In the first, print Python is easy, separator equal to hyphen and end at the rate, and the next the print statement hello. What would be the output? You can put it in the chat. Okay, so let me run it. So correct. So the first print statement, all the three words are joined together with at the rate. So I have extra space here. So and the second print statement, we join them with the at the rate symbol here. So you can try like this with multiple examples. So we'll move forward to the activity two, which is the input function. So input function is one function where the task of input function is to print something after taking the input from the user. So how to use this input function is, so if I want to take the input from the user and print it, and then I'm storing the input functions value inside this variable name actually. So if I just write like input and then print name, so what I'm doing is like inside this variable, instead of directly giving a value, like before I just gave a value name equal to John directly. Instead of doing that, I want to take input from the user. So we have a ready-made function for that. The task of this function is to directly take input from the user, and then it will get saved in the variable name. So if I run this, I got a box. Now I can write, let me just write April. So you now see like it's April got printed. So even I can send a message like this inside the input function, like please enter your name. Then it would display this like please enter your name. Then I'll enter May. So it would print. So maybe I can customize the print statement like my name is with a string like this. I forgot the comma here to separate the string and the variable. So if I just run it, please enter your name. So you can customize like this. My name is May. Usually, whenever we enter the Gmail accounts, then you get a input message like enter your username, enter your password. So likewise, using input function, you can give this uh, like messages to make the users enter the value in it. So here, and let me take more examples with this input function. So I want to take the same username and password example. For suppose I have username, I'm creating the variable name as username. Using the input function, I'll enter like please enter your username. And then I want to take one more input like password using the input function. And if I want to print, your username is, I stored it in the variable username again. And your password is, combining this print statement and input function together now. Password, I just stored it inside this password variable. So see it carefully. I'll try to explain it again. So the task of this input function is to take the input from the user and then print it. So please enter, yeah, maybe I just give some username like and some password. Then it would be like your username is hey hello, your password is this. So you can customize like this with the input function. So this is again a ready-made function. There are thousands of ready-made function. We are starting with few so that you understand the length and breadth of how Python can be expanded. So like there's one more interesting thing about input function. To know that we have to do this activity. So I want you to try this activity where you have to use the input function, take two numbers as input and add them. We know how to add simply using the plus operator like this. So using this hint. So try taking two inputs as numbers and add them. You can try this activity. So you can take variable names like num1 equal to take a number as input, num2 take a number as input, and you can just add the result like, but you have to get these numbers using input function. What should be the input function here? And give some message like please enter number one, number two, like that. Did you get any output, like anything interesting you found? Like if you run this, just put it in the chat. You can still try it. I'll try typing it from my end too.
This result is a string or it's a
Yeah, you got a saying like you cannot add numbers. It's a string, something like that.
yeah.
So
I have
then
given
it's
input.
correct.
Yeah,
Correct. Then it's correct. When you get error, that's correct. Because there's one interesting thing about this input function that input function takes input in the form of only strings data type. So when I run this, so I'm giving a number like 10, then I gave a number like 20 or 30. So it says okay, you got the error. Okay. So I just got the concatenation, not the addition like 10 plus 30 equal to 40. Because whenever I use this input function always takes input like a string. I have given number here, but I'm not expecting the addition like 10 plus 30. I was expecting 40 in the output. But you see that I just got the concatenation 10 plus 10 1030 because that happens when this 10 is a string. So whenever you give numbers for input function also, it would always take it like strings here. The thing is that plus operator works with the strings also. So we just got it like 1030 concatenation. But if you have 10 and the multiplication of 30, it would throw error. So if you want to do some mathematical operation, you have to convert this data type. Like you have to change the data type of the strings to integer. Only then you can do the mathematical operation. So how to convert? We are going to look in like a couple like in a minute. But here one more thing is yeah, so if I just like luckily since it was concatenation, we didn't got the error. But if I want to multiply two numbers like this, then I would have after entering the numbers, I would have just got the error saying like can't multiply sequence by non-integer and type of string here. So this is a property of input function which we have no control. Like this is how it is designed. So how to now rectify this problem is either I have to convert it here by using this int function. We call it like data type conversion. Like usually sometimes we require to convert one data type to another, maybe integer to decimal numbers. So then we have to use this functions. Like when I convert this to number to integer here, this number to integer here, now it would work. Like I can give any number, it would just give me the multiplication out of it. So either you can convert this here itself or you can convert this in this line itself. But make sure, like, according to the task we are going to convert, like, you are converting now a string to a integer, it will throw a error again because you cannot convert apple to a number. So you cannot convert a string to integer. So depending on the task, we do these conversions and make our task. So 6 multiplied by 9. So now it will work. So Just read this note point. The input function takes input in the form of only strings data type. And we know what is a data type. Strings data type is something which is enclosed in quotations. That means it's a text. So this is about input function. And yeah, you can try this activity, the last activity before we go for next concept. Create a program that asks for the user's birth year and calculates their age. So someone gives their birth year as 1980, then according to today's year 2025, the age has to be displayed. Think of the logic, but take the user's birth year using the input function. So you can try this activity. You can keep on trying on your side. Like, let me start typing it on my end and then I'll try to explain. So I just typed it, but someone's who have done, you can put it in the chat. You need 1 more minute. You need more time to do this
Time.
activity. So like this, after the class, also try to take more examples, like take 15, 20 minutes of time. Just create code cells on the same collab. Try practicing. Maybe you would explore new things. So you get a practice of it. So try practice. Like don't try to memorize anything, but keep on practicing. That's it. So the hint for this program is like you have to take the birth year by input function, and then you can just create a variable where you can take the current year, and then you just have to subtract them. So it would work like you take the birth year as input function, enter your birth year, current year. Like maybe if you're thinking of this in a different logic sense, also that also would work. So multiple ways of solving the same problem. Like so 2025, I'm subtracting just this current year and birth year and just printing like you are age years old, like enter your birth year. I'm just entering 1995. So you are 30 years old. So we just subtracted both. So likewise, you can create interesting concepts with just the few functions we have learned. Like we have learned print function, type function, data type conversion, like two, three concepts we have learned. With based on that also, like you can try creating very interesting codes like this. So if you want to check a data type of a value, then you can check using type function. So if I want to check the type of this age variable, so it is integer. So if I want to check the type of any string like you, it would just show me like it's a string. So whenever for a particular variable or a value you want to check what is the data type of it, you can use this ready-made function, type function. So this is about input function. Any questions still here? Okay. So I'm assuming like no questions, but still you practice it like whenever you get questions also you can always ask. So next, we'll see how to increment a value. So we started with print function, input function. Like if you have a particular value stored in a variable and you want to increase the value, how to increment a value? So if I write a syntax like this, so whenever I say syntax, these are nothing but the grammar of programming language, like the rules we have to follow. So here, if I want to increment, I can write a equal to a plus 1. Now I print a. So what I'm doing is here technically when I write a equal to 1, I just created a variable where I stored value 1 inside it. Again, when I say like a equal to a plus 1, what I'm doing is a plus 1 is nothing but the a value is 1 here. So it would see 1 plus 1. So we are adding 1 again. So the now the value has become 2 and we are again adding this to the same variable name. So we are incrementing the value. So if I just run it, so it's 2 here. So if I have the same statement, so if I want to add like for this a, that value 10. So you are actually adding value 10 to this one and then you're reassigning this value here itself with the same variable. If you would have written like b is equal to a plus 10, then a value would have been 1, but b value would have been 11 here. So it would have been updated in that way. So let me, I'll write something like this. A equal to 1 and like let me change the variable name. So let me take it like w equal to 1. I created w equal to 1 in one code cell. I'm writing w equal to w plus 1 and I'm printing W in one more code cell. This is like whenever we are chatting in WhatsApp, some people have a they type everything in one cell and then send a long message. There are few people who kind of send like hello in one word, like how in one word. There is like different habits, right? So here I have done this three lines in one single code cell, a equal to 1, a equal to a plus 1 and a. I'm running it, the output is 2. I'm running it, the output is always 2 because I've initialized a equal to 1, then incrementing and printing 2. Now I have created one more variable where again w equal to 1. I'm running it. So now I have increment statement w equal to w plus 1 and running it 3 times. If I run this W, what do you think would be the output? Will it be 1? Will it be 4 or 3 or 2? Because I've run this code cell once, I have run this code cell 3 times, and now I'm printing this. What do you think would be the output? 4, 3, okay. Which one? First, I have created W equal to 1. Then when I press W plus 1 first time, it would be incremented to 2. Second time, it would be incremented to 3, then 4. So if I now print it, the output would be 4. See the difference? Like when you write everything in a single code cell, I'm initializing this again and again. Like each time when 3 lines of code is run inside this code cell, first a equal to 1 is created, then it is incremented by 1 and the output would be 2. When I run it again, the same structure was repeating. So here what happened is when I've written it in different code cells, I've created w equal to 1. First w equal to 1 was created. Then when I write w plus 1, so 1 plus 1. When I run again, plus 1. So this same box is incrementing like this. So I have done 3 times. So when I printed W, it was 4 now. So do check this kind of simple things, like since we are new to this collab environment. So when we are writing this codes like this, so make sure you write it in on requirement, write it in the same code cell and see like how this is proceeding. So this is about incrementing a value. Just like you can do a lot of things, not only a plus, you can even do minus and all. Right now, just see with increment, we can do a lot more with this. So if I'm just incrementing with 78 like this, then it would be 79. So, and yeah, so if I want to print hello 5 times. So if I want to print hello 5 times, so usually like if I can print, just copy and print it like 5 times, it would still give me the same output. Like usually when you do the programming, it's not only about getting the output, but how we are getting it, the performance of the code also. Like if you have to print this like 100 times, so someone who is copy and pasting this 100 times, they also get the same output like 100 hellos. But that's not the thing. Like we should make a code in such a way that it's the code's performance, and then the way we write it is also important rather than getting only the output like this. So whenever you want to repeat something in programming language, we have a concept called loop. I here I'm repeating the statement print hello multiple times. So instead of repeating by copy and pasting, there's a concept of loop where you can print it. So yeah, we have for loops also. We'll come to that. Then we'll discuss the difference between for loop and while loop. But now we are going to start with the while loop. So the same print hello, if I want to repeat 5 times, how to repeat it using while loop, we are going to learn. So while loop concept is like where you repeat the sorry, yeah, just a second, yeah. So a while loop repeats a block of code as long as a condition is true. So while loop runs on a condition, as long as the condition is true, while loop will run endlessly. The moment condition becomes false, the while loop stops. So the syntax would be like this: while is the keyword, and you have to give some condition, and then this colon has to be included as syntax. And you go inside this block, you have to write the code which you want to repeat. Usually, when you use this loops or any concept like this in other programming languages, to enter a particular block of code, we used to have this brackets. Here in Python, we don't have brackets for entering a block of code, but we have something interesting called indentation. Indentation in the sense the spacing. So you want to enter the while block, some condition colon, you have to give some space and write the codes like this. We call this spacing here indentation. So usually we follow 2 space or 4 space indentation. So by default, Collab has settings where indentation was set to like 4 spaces. You can control it like 4 spaces or 2 spaces. I just kept it like 4. When I press enter, directly I can get a 4 space tab inside the collab environment. You can control those settings from this settings icon here. Like you can even change the theme to dark theme. So yeah, or even adaptive in the sense like you kind of yeah, let me just keep it like light theme. And like we'll talk about indentation again. First, let me write the while block. So I want to print hello 5 times. So for this, I'm just initializing. I equal to 1. I just created. First I'll write it and then I'll try to explain it. So let me not print I, let me print hello. So what I'm doing here with the print statement, while loop here is, so I want to print hello 5 times. I want to repeat this statement 5 times. So first I created a variable I equal to 1. So a variable is created where I equal to 1. Then this is syntax, like I have to use while as a keyword, and then you have to give a condition here. So the condition I have given is I want to repeat it 5 times. So I've given condition is I less than or equal to 5. And colon, this is also part of the rules. Then when I press enter, whatever code I want to print multiple times, I'm writing it inside this print hello. And then like I have to give an increment statement for this I, like I equal to I plus 1. Why I'm doing for each step, I'll give the explanation. So here, the things which we don't have the control is writing while here, giving the colon. And to enter a while block, the spacing is important. These things we have to follow. These are the rules of Python author itself. So the spacing is called as indentation. So we call this indentation. And you can maintain like 2 space or 4 space, but we have to consistent with the space. Like I'll remove the space and show you like how it would execute and all. So you have to give a condition here. We call it like condition. So while loop has one speciality, like when the condition is true, only then you are going to enter a while block. So if your condition is true, only then you will get a key to enter this while block. If not, so whatever statements are outside, it would keep on continuing with it. So when I created I equal to 1, so a variable I equal to 1 is created, then it would check the condition 1 less than or equal to 5. True or false? Is it true or false? 1 less than or equal to 5. So one value is less than or equal to 5. True, right? So it's true. So it would enter the while block. Then it would see print statement, hello. Then it would have printed hello here. Then the next line, it sees the code I equal to I plus 1. This is the increment statement we just learned. So it would increment I value to plus 1. So to come out of this while block, once we enter this while block, after the condition is true, to come out of this while block, again this condition has to become false. Only then we'll be coming out of the while loop. If not, we'll be here itself running like this print hello, hello, hello. So the condition has to become false. So we'll increment it plus 1. It will check the condition again. Now the value of I is 2. It will check 2 less than or equal to 5. This is still true. So it would still print hello. And then again, it sees the increment statement. So Python always executes code line by line. So it will see it again. Now 2 will be incremented to 3. So it will check again 3 less than or equal to 5. It's still true. Prints one more hello. And then it sees the increment statement. It increments it 4 less than or equal to 5. Again true. So it will print one more hello. And again increment statement 5 less than or equal to 5. So that is also true. So one more here. Then now the value of I has changed to 6. 6 less than or equal to 5. True or false? This particular statement, when 6 has become, like I has value has become 6, now this is false. So when it sees false, so when it sees false, then the while loop will come out of this loop. Then if there is some other statements here, it would execute it. Since this condition is true only for 5 times, you just got the value hello 5 times here. So I'll take more examples so that you get clarity about the while loop. So here, the same thing instead of this. I am, if suppose I'm printing one more statement here saying print end of while loop. So it would print hello 5 times and end of while loop, like whatever is there after the while loop, it would be printed. So if I just took I equal to 10, what do you think would be the output? I equal to 10 while I less than or equal to 5, print hello, I equal to I plus 1, print end of while loop. For this particular lines of code, what do you think the output would be?
It prints hello uh, 5 times, and then it also prints the end of while loop.
Okay, it will print hello 5 times. So it just printed end of while loop. Why do you think?
Actually, I thought it will go for iteration.
So this
Mm-hmm.
is, we have initialized the I value as 10, right? In the first loop
Yes,
itself, it will
yes.
terminate. So first, if
Correct,
we take the first statement, I is less than or equal to 5. So
correct.
it is, yeah, it is false. So it will not execute anything.
Perfect, perfect, correct. Because like for entering the while loop, this condition has to become true. Only then will enter the while block. Here I equal to 10, then it checks 10 less than or equal to 5. This is false here. So we don't enter the while block at all. So you'll be just after the while block, you see the print statement, end of while loop. You're going to just print this. That's perfectly correct, Raghu Garu. Yeah. So let me take more examples. So the main thing about this while loop, like keep in mind that whenever this condition is true, only then will come inside the while block. Again, once you enter the while block, when the condition is false, only then will come out of it. So here, let me take I equal to 3. Then I'm printing not hello, I'm printing I here. Yeah, now what would be the output?
So it will print 3, 4, and
Mm-hmm.
then end of while loop.
Mm-hmm. 3, 4, 3, 4, 5 or 3, 4.
Yeah, 5 2 because it's less than or equal to.
Correct. So 3, 4, 5. So, like again, your increment statement, if it is like starting from 3, you're taking it till 10. Like if your increment statement is I equal to I plus 2, then accordingly, like it would always execute line by line. The initial value is 3, it checks the condition. If it's true, it enters. The value was 3, it just print 3. Then it's not increment one value, it's incrementing two values. Then 3 becomes 5, then it will check the condition 5 less than or equal to 10. So it would be like 3, 5, 7, 9, like that, depending on what statements we are providing it here. So any questions with while loop?
No.
Okay,
No.
so okay, great. So you can try more activities with while loop. And there is one thing, like now the question would be like, what if there is no what if this while loop doesn't become false? Like once you enter it, the condition is true. Like I'll give you an example here. If you are taking a while loop where I equal to 0 and I'm writing while I greater than 0. Sorry, yeah, greater than 0. Print I and I'm giving the increment statement. What do you think would be the output?
It'll iterate infinite times.
Correct, correct. So when you don't have this statement which is becoming false, it is going to enter into a infinite while loop, and we usually don't will make sure like we don't create infinite while loops, because sometimes if you just like run it and forget, like laptops will crash. I equal to 0, I less than equal to greater than equal to 0, I equal to I plus 1. Okay, why did it stop like this? So I just created, okay, it's not working with this condition here. Let me just write through here. So it would be always true, forever true. So I'm running it like this, and it's into the infinite while loop. So it's printing all the numbers. So either I have to forcefully stop it here. There is something called break keyword to stop it, like which we are going to learn it in the Monday's lesson after learning conditional statements. So just in 20 seconds, the I value would have incremented to this such a big value. So always we need a condition false, like the condition has to become false to come out of the while loop. That is one more thing about the while loop. If not, we'll enter into infinite while loops. So this is for today. We have covered like print statement, the input function, then we discussed like how to convert data type using integer. Like you, if you want to do the data type conversion, we can do that. Then we learned like how to do incrementing a value, a while loop, and the while infinite while loop. So on Monday's lesson, we'll start with functions concept, like how, like we are using this ready-made functions like print function, type function. But if we have to create our own functions, like what is the syntax for it, then slowly we'll learn conditional statements like if else, like if you have conditional print concept, and then yeah, we'll continue like that. So I'll stop it here today. So before we wrap up today's class, I just want to share a small note with you all of you. Like today was the final free session of this demo series, and from Monday onward, we'll continue with our regular course. So starting with all these concepts I have just said, like conditional statements and all. So for those of you who have decided to continue this journey with us, I'm really excited to see you on Monday. We only taken a tiny first step. There's so much more interesting and practical learning waiting for you. And for anyone who have decided not to continue, that's completely okay. And I genuinely wish you all the very best for your learning journey and future. And yeah, my only suggestion is this, like AI is becoming an essential skill everywhere. So try to learn it at least slowly from any resources you like. Even small, consistent steps will take you a very long way. So, and as promised, like I'll also share 100+ AI tools that I personally curated. I'll just show you in a second. These tools cover different use cases. Like, let me first share it. Just a second, I'll share it and show it to you. So I'll share this link in the group where you have personally like all the AI tools in the market. Like you have the name of the tool, like what is the description the tool does, and the link. So not many of them are not free. They might be paid versions. Just see through it. Like I personally didn't try all of them, but few of it, like the Gemini, you would have tried, Cloud, you would have tried. So ChatGPT we would have tried. Suno AI we have seen like it's create music. So according to your work purpose, like maybe some of the AI tools might help you in your productivity. So thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your patience throughout all these sessions. I really enjoyed teaching you, and I hope you found this few lessons useful and motivating. So if you have questions, you can stay back. If not, take care. Have a great weekend. Keep learning, even if it's just one small step at a time. So bye for uh, bye for now. So if you have questions, yeah, you can stay back.
So, hi, Meenakshi. We don't have a class tomorrow.
No, we don't have classes on weekend. We have Monday to Friday classes.
Okay. Actually, I thought
So
of asking about this point of how LLMs work with hugging face if we have class tomorrow.
In the sense you want to see the hugging face.
Yeah, so you mentioned yesterday, right? Like how LMs work with a hugging face in the poll.
Okay. Yeah, in the poll, like, yeah, nobody want,
Actually,
like, I just started with the basics of the class. So,
okay.
like, yeah, in between, like, we are going to learn all that in this course, don't worry. So, you'll see, like, from Hugging Face, how to get the LLMs and make your own, yeah.
Yeah, okay, sure.
So, Meenakshi, what is the plan from Monday? So, from here
Okay,
onwards, we
so,
will continue.
like, we'll be continuing with conditional statements, and then we are going to start with nested while loops, the curriculum. So we already started the actual lessons, started with Python basics, right? So we'll start with like all the concepts of basics, then we do cover according to this curriculum, the data structures like that. So actual lessons.
Okay, so
I'll
Monday you are
share
going
this.
to finalize
Yeah.
the team, finalize the batch, right?
Yes. Monday it would be finalized. It's a private group where we continue with the lessons. So you have seen today's lesson. So continuation of this lesson would be from Monday.
And WhatsApp group remains same.
This like there would be a separate WhatsApp group
Okay, that
for people who have
admin.
joined. Yeah. So everything like becomes closed group where yeah.
Okay.
So once the actual classes start, like, will you be giving us an assignments, like, for us to practice?
Yeah. Yes. Some when and where it's required, I'll be sharing the assignments where you can just practice. It's also the same collab, just that you'll have empty code cells where you have to practice. The same thing like you see the lessons. Assignments would be similar.
Okay.
Any more
And
questions? Yeah.
yeah, I mean, actually, I have my own file, collab file. I'm doing
Hmm.
coding on that. So
Hmm.
every time I have to, before logging out, I have to save a copy, right?
No, like if you have just created a collab and you're working on it, just press Control and S. On the same collab, the document would be saved. Next day on the same collab, you can work. You don't have to create a copy again and again. Only this copy procedure I have guided because this is a class copy. You cannot edit on it. So you want your own copy to edit. That's the reason you go to the file and make a copy of it. So
Yeah,
you, when you're making,
I'll share this
yeah.
and show you. Uh,
Okay. So let me stop the recording. So others, if you have no
what to
questions, see
one
you
second.
on Monday. Bye bye.
Bye.